Hello, welcome to Chatbox with Sam. Tonight's guest is artist Brian Kent. He has many things to tell you. I hope you enjoy the show. Welcome to Chatbox with Sam.
Hey, how are you, Sam?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. Doing good.
You are?
How are you? I guess I should ask.
It's really hot here in California at the moment. And I had
Here's
to
it.
turn the air conditioning off because of the noise, the background noise.
I have a fan going.
Do you? So, Brian, if you were to encourage the younger generation, what would that be and why?
Well, I often get asked or told, they say, I don't know how to draw. I can't draw. And the example I always give is basically, if you were to dribble a soccer ball every day when you came home for an hour, right? And you did it for 5 years,
Yes.
you're going to be good. You're going to be good at it after 5 years, no matter what. So really practice, and as far as being an entrepreneur, don't let anybody defer you. Don't let them tell you different. If that's what you feel in your heart that you can do it, or be an artist on your own and do it. Just show them. And that's the advice I would give. Don't ever give up on anything that you love or feel inside you.
That's a really good motto, Brian. Never give up.
Yeah.
So, what inspired you into this career?
It started when I was young. My grandmother was she was a school teacher, English teacher. And growing up, I didn't really have cousins that were my age that were close. They were in Florida and we were in Chicago. I was from Iowa. But my grandma was in Chicago. And so when we came home, it was always my sister and I everywhere. So when we would go to grandma's house, it was still us. And so I would go up into her room where she had a school desk, and I would just doodle and doodle and doodle and draw. And I guess just from there, really, that's kind of where it started. And then through school and high school and stuff, I didn't do it as much because I was really heavily into sports. And then so when I started tattooing again, it's kind of when I started to art again and teach myself both crafts at the same time. So, it was a bit of an obstacle doing that, but I'm still learning. And with art, there's no, you're always going to learn. And if you learn it all, you can trade to something different, as far as art. Yeah. So for my career, I'm tattooer. I've been tattooing for 4 years. And funny story, the way that I got into that actually was kind of a bit of an accident. I came to a roadblock and I was like, what now? I don't know. I have to do something different. And so I dove headfirst into it. I went to one shop and they said that they couldn't bring me on. And then the second shop, they brought me on. So as far as tattooing, that's my career. But as far as art and everything, every day I just am inspired by something. I just create all day, every day for people around me. I mean, that's all I'm doing is doing art.
You created the logo for Blackwater Blues. How did that come about? Would you like to tell the audience that? For the Indiegogo website.
Right. So, Corn and them asked me to help them design the logo for the show, and so I was honored for one to be asked to do it and be part of the show in general. But yeah, it's really just another art form. Really, each letter is just another element of a painting or a drawing. That's how you kind of approach it, instead of just writing like you wrote, writing in school.
Yes.
Yeah,
so that's your current involvement with Blackwater Blues.
Yeah. Well, I was art set dresser as well. So making sure all the pieces of the puzzle were there in the same spot. Yeah. So I got to do that as well, which was really neat. I never kind of expected it, but I did it. It was fun. It was a whole new element that I never thought that I would do, and I love it.
And you were on set of the Blackwater Blues pilot?
I was. Yeah, I was. I was the set dresser. So I was watching all the same shots the director was behind the screen just to make sure everything was there and all nothing in the background that didn't need to be. But yeah, so it was awesome. It was a really, really cool experience to be on that. And it opened my eyes to a whole new level of art form that I didn't really, wasn't involved with before. So it was cool.
That's nice. It was a great experience then.
It was. It was a lot of fun.
The next question, Brian, is
Mm-hmm.
how do you feel about what has transpired since COVID-19? And do you ever see us returning to an actual normality as before?
I don't. I really don't. Unfortunately, and it's super unfortunate that some of the direction we've gone, I don't know. So it's not that I don't believe it. I believe that it was a virus. I believe that it was glorified extremely too far, and it still is. I'm just not a fan of what happened. Even in the beginning when, am I allowed to say names? Like Bill Gates, for example, he got this if he needed. But when he were to step down as Microsoft owner like a week before the pandemic hit, it's too ironic. It's too, you know what I mean? Like, and so I felt that it split us as a nation. I mean, it's affected me and my family. It really has. Me and my mother don't get along because of it. She bases all of her information off the news, and that's fine. But do your homework. Each individual, I think, needs to do their own research and their own homework before they can argue what it is that they want to argue. But I don't see us going back. I actually am kind of terrified of what could keep
transpire. And I always encourage people to look at the science rather than the politics.
Right. I mean, and especially the news, they're gonna feed you just BS. I mean, they're gonna feed you what they're told and what they want you to believe. I mean, the toilet paper thing. Come on. I mean,
I know, wasn't that ridiculous?
It's just absurd, and it's like that was the first step into seeing what was going to transpire, like you said, and it's snowballing, and I wish better. I wish but I just did coming out.
Well, I strongly recommend most people to read Naomi Klein's Shock Doctrine book, how those in power use fear to control the people.
Absolutely.
And it happens all the time. It's been happening for decades.
The system is set up for poor people to fail all day, every day. They need the poor to depend on them out of debt, out of all of it. And it's not right. Frankly, I mean, it's downright dirty. I mean, look at California right now, where you're at.
I live in California, Northern California.
But the homeless situation is outrageous. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They did this. They did it. Believe it or not, they did it. I mean, how many, the flu, you didn't hear nothing about the flu this year. It's just.
Or the common cold.
I mean, right. And I'm forced to get a vaccination. I'm never sick. I don't get that. I don't need it. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're going to single me out because I don't have it. I just don't agree with it. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah.
I don't like how the country has become and divided and cheap in a sense.
Well, no one should judge someone for not having the vaccine, and no one should judge someone for having the vaccine. It should be a personal choice, and no one should be condemned for their choice.
I agree,
because that's a civil human right.
Well, and to me, it just shows, it indicates that there's more to it. I mean, why are you pushing it so hard?
And Gavin Newsom's just give 1.5 million on a lottery basis to someone that had a COVID vaccine. He could have give that 1.5 million to the homeless and the people that are struggling, and done a lottery and shared it all out there. I know we've all had stimulus checks, but the 1.5 could have been.
And there were so many solutions to the situations we went through. You know how the bills and everything, they just didn't stop. There's a simple solution: stop the payment, make them stop. It's not run off of a meter. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You're putting more Americans in debt, and you're splitting up families. I mean, the divorce rate outrageous, the abuse rate outrageous, suicide rate the highest it's ever been.
That's the depression has been a very big thing. Being in
It's
quarantine, it's affected people with depression
it's affected
very
me.
harshly. Yes.
It affected. I mean, when you don't have the financial background backing that you feel comfort,
Mm-hmm.
you get into panic mode. You get into survivor mode, and it's terrifying. It splits people up. It divides people, and it's
Yeah.
scary. And it happened to me. It happened to me. My fiance quit on me. She just stopped, and so it was tough.
What was that?
So
So could you say that again?
she quit on me. She just stopped. Like we just ended because I wasn't working. She was. It destroyed us.
I'm sorry.
destroyed. Yeah. It was tough. Still is. But hey, it's life. The worst part was that every time that I start to feel and like miss her and all that, I would then recall that she put me out on the streets, and right when the pandemic hit, everything's closed in August in Mississippi.
Oh
Just
my gosh.
Yeah, I had nowhere to go. I was living in my car in August in Mississippi, showering at a gas station for $12 a shower. I didn't have anybody.
Did you have an option of going back to family in Chicago?
I did, but we don't see eye to eye during the pandemic. Yeah, it's tough.
Oh, but hopefully now if we've opened up in California, the rest of the country is gonna follow suit.
Well, so
I mean,
California, they're hurting for artists, and so that was one of my options. I was like, I got on Craigslist, and it's just like they're hiring artists all over for everything, like tattooing, just in general.
Brian, do you have any current projects that you are working on and you would like to share with the audience?
I do. Yeah. So I'm trying to come up with an educational way of basically a TV show. I'm trying to create a documentary where it has a different look into a tattooing show than the regular everyday competition shows or bad tattoo shows.
Yeah.
I feel like there's too many of those already. This is going to be more of a inside, look, gotten down to actual application of tattooing, stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's gonna be cool. I'm gonna try to travel the country and check out different places, and show off different shops. I mean, there's 21,000 tattoo shops in America.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's gonna be no shortage of content, to say the least.
That's awesome. And then you've got your art too. And if you can freelance your art, that would really help you, I think.
It would. And so I honestly, I've told my friend Bonnie that I don't know how to get it out there. I'm not good with that. I'm not good at the marketing part of it. And I think as us as artists, that's another thing I'll tell the youth is that, artists are kind of to themselves already as it is, and so
introverts,
right? And so you're trying to get them out in front of people and showing their work and that they're proud of, and yet we live in a world of hate right now, and so they're gonna find negativity, and you just got to stay strong. You just got to, there's gonna be more people that probably don't like it or disagree with it than there will be that do. But look at the people that do, and listen to the people that do, and listen to you. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, if you're gonna succeed as an artist, you've got to have thick skin.
Absolutely.
It's tough. But yeah, my projects, I've been painting jean jackets. I do custom designs on clothing. Anything custom, really. I'll do. I mean, I can show one.
So how can people reach you? Because I know you did a GoFundMe once. Yeah, that was in the middle of the pandemic when things were really hard for everybody. So you did have a GoFundMe. Can you tell the audience how to reach you on social media?
So the easiest way would be either email, and that's bkent1083 bkent1083
And then Twitter, you're on Twitter, right?
I am, but I think it's Gentleman Gypsy. It's got to be. I
Okay.
don't. I'm so bad with Twitter. I need to get better. I really
Well,
do. And you guys,
you
guys
can have
like
to
math?
you can have to go on there and retweet my post of this.
I know you guys really like masters of it. I'm terrible. I don't know how to do it.
Because
I mean, I'm so bad about posting. I'm so bad. I am. I love creating. I create all day, every day. But then to have me sit down and actually put it out to the world is like pulling teeth. I can't do it. Not that I don't want to. I just don't. I need a publicist or like a broker.
Oh, you do?
I do bad.
You know,
Manage.
I know two people that are very good on social media sites. Just
I do
so
too.
you know.
I've
Bonnie.
always tried for her to help. Yeah, but yeah, Bonnie's been great. She's been so great lately.
She's a beautiful soul, Bonnie
She
is.
is.
Everyone's been lovely.
Chase, you have Chase on here.
I got Chase.
Have you done Gary yet?
No,
You need Gary and Chase.
I've got Chase. I've already put that out
No, put them together. It will be best of.
Doppelgangers.
I'm telling you, when we were on set with those two, I was dying. I was like, we have to create a TV show. There's no
Right.
doubt about it. Oh my God, it was the funniest. I laughed the hardest I've laughed in my life.
Really?
Oh my God.
Well,
it was so much.
Chase is a hoot, but I'd love to get Gary on there.
He would love it. Oh gosh, yeah.
Would he? I'd love to have, because I know he's got that Blackwater brass.
Right, yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
you can promote it. And I
Yeah.
actually just did the logo too. I
Did you
just
do-
designed their logo.
Did you? Blackwater brass?
Yeah, so I did the logo for Blackwater Blues, and Gary's in the band. He's the drummer of Blackwater Brass, a local band here in Ocean Springs. And they asked me to redesign the logo. They had a logo, and they just wanted it tweaked a little bit, and fine-tuned, and I did it for them. So yeah, I did the logo for both Blackwater Brass and Blackwater Blues. Kind of cool.
So, Brian, is there anything else you'd like to tell the audience? Can you describe a little bit of your art pieces that you've done that hasn't been put out there on public?
Yeah, so I'll do commission pieces. I do portrait drawings. Anybody can reach out to me at any point, and they can get any kind of painting they want. Literally, if they just want a painting behind me like this one, abstract, I could do that. Really, it's kind of as crazy as it sounds. Anything artistically, I will give a shot. And I painted a surfboard. I painted a fish. The Louis Vuitton fish that got taken from me.
I know your tattoos are very artistic too, very incredible. Can you show a couple of them that you've got on your arms?
Oh yeah. Well, so I did I'll show my arms. This here is there we go. Salvador Dali. Let me see it.
Oh yes, he was a great
Pencil through my knuckle.
There you go. And on your arm?
And so this, I'm trying to figure out my camera here. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of all over. This one's my daughter's name.
Aw.
And then I got the lighthouse just to remind me of home. And then
That's
so
nice.
I got random stuff kind of everywhere. I'm gonna stay away from my face. I will encourage the kids nowadays. Don't do what the rappers are doing and getting tattoos. It's a terrible idea. These guys are millionaires already. They've already established their careers. You haven't. Do not tattoo your face.
I know.
It's not. It's terrible.
My son just had a tattoo on his neck and I told him off.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, that's terrible. As an artist, I take pride in not letting them do that. And
That's good.
the trouble with that though is that I know they're gonna go somewhere else. They're gonna go and do it anyways.
They are.
So
Because
I try.
If they want to do something, they're going to do it.
Right. So what I do is I try to convince them otherwise. I try to tell them a story as to why, not by saying no, don't do it, because then of course they're gonna rebel. So I try to get in their eyes and in their heads, as to why they shouldn't do it. I'm trying to think of an example. I know example as to why I don't go cheap with tattoos is because, I always give the example of when you're a grandfather or a grandma, and your grandkid is on your lap, and they're like, Grandpa, what is that? And well, that was because I didn't want to pay an extra $20. So I got a turd on my,
Yeah.
you know. And so it's just like you got to look at tattoos as an investment, not as a spur of the moment. Like this thing is going to be on you longer than any home you'll own, any car you have, any relationship you'll be in, all of it. You take this to the grave. It's crazy. And people, I often say you wouldn't go to a used or a tire place and be like, just give me ones that kind of last me for a week. And, but why yet you're doing it to your body.
And on the bad side of it, they're very hard to remove, because I used to work for a dermatologist, and a girl was having a tattoo removed, and it was 6 or 7 times more painful to get the tattoo laser burned off than when it was put on initially.
Big pockets of blisters. It's gruesome. It's nasty, and it's like that's all because you wanted to save $10.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? You know what I mean?
Well, she regretted having the tattoo, apparently. So we did put the numbing cream on her, but the pain, and it was pulse light. It was pulse light laser. But even that was burning her, and she had to go through like 6 months of treatments, and it was just there, but it was still faded.
Yep. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's So that's actually what my show is for. That kind of stuff. I was telling my sister earlier, my show is to educate people as to all the things that the shortcuts you're taking are going to affect you for the rest of your life, and not only is it extremely painful, it costs, as much, if not more than the tattoo initially. You're not saving any money in the long run. You're spending twice as much as what you would if you just would have saved a little bit longer and got the proper tattoo. Now, I understand if you're in a gang or if you were in jail or something like that, that's understandable. And I would actually be honored to remove stuff like that or cover stuff like that. But to do it to save a couple bucks is not okay.
No.
And I bet, I don't know the proper numbers, but I bet 80% of Americans regret one of their tattoos. Almost guaranteed.
Do you know I don't have one tattoo. Not one.
You don't?
No.
Neither does Billy. You guys are rare.
I never wanted to scar my body with something that I couldn't take away. I mean, I think there's some beautiful artistic tattoos. So I
don't think you need to take them away. I call them life marks. So you're born with birthmarks, and I call them life marks. It marks an event of significance for whatever reason that you decided to put that on your body for permanently. So it's a life mark.
Yeah.
I just got more than most.
So does my brother and my son.
But so I'll give you a fun fact: 31% of America has a tattoo. 31% of the however many billion people there are.
Billions, yeah. In the world, there's a lot of people. Well, they even tattoo themselves in third world countries and mark themselves.
It's been around forever, and it's not gonna go away. That's again why I want to educate, because they're viewed as this this terrible thing. I mean, cavemen. There's literally drawings of cavemen with markings on their skin.
Yeah.
There's mummies. They're finding these 500 years old. I mean, just like forever. It's crazy. And I will, when my show comes around, I'll have a lot more facts and know them properly. But it's pretty remarkable. Like the numbers are no joke. 31% of America has.
That's the step back. There you go. That's better. I can see all of you now.
Okay.
That's very good information, though. Because not a lot of people know that.
No. Well, and so I feel that I had kind of a bit of a turning point when Mississippi opened tattoo shops back up, because everything else was starting to open. Bars were open. All this. And I wrote the governor and I said, look, I understand that a tattoo is not essential. But you go up to the next nurse you see, ask her if she has a tattoo. I bet she does. You go up to the next police officer you see, ask him if he has a tattoo. I bet he does.
Yeah.
Ask the, you know what I mean? Like seriously, do that, and then tell me that they're not essential to that person.
Right.
These people that protect you and save you, and yet it's not essential. I get it. Like you can live without it, but
Yeah.
the bottom line, you can live without being in a bar next to somebody as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day he opened up. It was pretty crazy. I feel like I might have been that last drip of water in the bucket. We're people too. I mean, we have families. This is a career. This isn't a hobby. This is a full out career. And excess. Like I come home and I draw. I mean, I'm doing appointments. I'm marketing. I'm networking. It's nonstop. You're your own boss. It's nonstop. So it's a lot more than what people think it is.
Are they opening up now more? Because I noticed when I was there in Mississippi last year, it was a lot more free and open than it was in California. And
Yeah,
same in Florida, when we was in Florida a month ago.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, they really didn't shut anything down here. I mean, the shops were closed for a couple months, maybe.
Yeah.
And it wasn't bad at all. No. I mean, it was very limited, the things that we could do and whatnot. But for the most part, yeah, it was pretty lenient.
Yeah, it was. I know you have a beautiful daughter.
I do, yeah. She's actually reached out. I mean, it's Father's Day today.
Oh.
Yeah, and I've failed her, and she's such a sweet girl.
You could never fail a child when you're still loving them. When you can't give what you haven't got. That's not failing as a father. That's society. Yeah. That's a pandemic that happened to everybody. That's beyond your control. That's not failing, Brian. You still loving and caring and wanting to be there for her. That's succeeding as a parent. That's being her dad. Not just her father, but her dad. So don't ever think that, sweetie. Don't ever think it. I know, I'm getting upset myself. Having lack of funds is not a failure.
Yeah. Well, I know.
That's just a situation.
It's been prior to the pandemic, but this certainly hasn't helped.
I know. But you only fail when you stop and you don't try anymore. I don't see you doing that. You're still trying. You haven't failed. I mean, gosh. I mean, even if you do feel like giving up sometimes, that's okay. Because it's like, you're beating your head up against the wall. You're trying again, and nothing's succeeding, nothing's changing. And that's wearing on the soul. It's wearing on the brain. It's draining. It's draining, But you're still here. You're talking to me. You're sharing. You're still not giving up. That's not failing.
Yeah.
Fail again. Fail better. Samuel Beckett. Fail again. Fail better. Brian Kent, thank you very much for coming on Chatbox with Sam. I've really enjoyed talking with you. I hope everyone that watches enjoys the interview also.
Me as well.
Take care. Thank you very much.
Bye.